Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. Without any further ado, let's just jump into it. My nose itches. Varg! I told you I'd come back for you, didn't I? Varg taps his cane on the floor, creating a shockwave of powerful energy that blasts us all across the room. Oh no. The impact of the magic forces me against the wall. I collapse to my knees, pain thrumming in my head. The king collapses somewhere nearby, and I hear the crack of the box as it lands on the ground a few feet away from us. Waltz holds out his hand. I take it, and he helps me back to my feet. Jaybird, are you alright? Yes.
Jaybird?
The king looks at me quizzically, but his gaze does not linger. He looks toward Varg, his eyes narrowed. Did the king remember who I was? Your Majesty, are you hurt? The king shakes his head at Waltz before turning his attention to Varg, his eyebrows furrowed.
Who is this man?
Your Majesty, this person is working for the Wicked Witches.
What?
Wait, what happened to Jurin and Garland? They were just outside the door. Oh no. What did you do to them? Varg cocks his head to the side. Oh no! Who? The guards just outside the door. This door. I am sure that they must have hit themselves when they saw the king coming to this room, but they still should have been able to see Varg coming. Guards? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about, Princess. Varg seems like he is telling the truth, but I cannot trust him. Please, let them be safe. I see Neverland a few feet from us. I can try to grab it, but Varg will probably thwart my attempt with magic. I have to wait for an opening. I'll distract him. While I do that, then both of you need to run. What? I eye Varg. He looks at the three of us with his lips slightly quirked, as if he is amused. This isn't the time to argue with me, Jaybird. Stay with him, listen to him. I'm gonna stay with him. No. Jaybird, we must prioritize the king's safety. I will help you. I do not know how, but I must do something. But we are in this together, Waltz. I am not going to run away while you sacrifice yourself for us. Waltz's disapproval is clearly written on his face, but he eventually sighs out, seeming to let it go. I like how Varg is just probably standing there, but like, whatever, twiddling his thumbs, whatever. You're too stubborn for your own good. So I've been told. I turn to the king and place a hand on his shoulder. Your Majesty, leave this to us. You have to escape somewhere safe. This does not involve the king. It is me that Varg wants, after all. The king shakes his head as he removes my hand from his shoulder. He stands up and moves in front of us before pulling his sword from his sheath. Oh no! Don't unsheath your sword, Your Majesty! Oh no, Daddy, no! I'm just kidding. Oh, Papi, no! Your Majesty!
What kind of king would I be if I stood back and allowed two children to protect me?
Varg looks amused by our conversation. You know that I'm not letting you get away this time, Princess. It doesn't matter who stands in my way. Father, his cane is enchanted. You cannot hold him with just a blade.
Father?
I am at a loss for words. It has been a long time since I called him that. Much to my surprise, the king's lips pull into a soft smile.
You said that at the gates that one day, when you were seeking an audience with me. I have not been able to forget that day.
Before I can say anything in return, a familiarly smooth voice breaks the ensuing silence. Oh no. Oh? I wonder where all these voices are coming from. I wonder if it's Sir Mithras or my mom. Sir Mithras? Ah, it's Sir Mithras, okay. Oh, I wonder where all these voices are coming from. A familiar man steps into the doorway. He inspects everyone in the room quietly.
Mithras!
Don't be so happy soon. No, don't smile like that. You're in a bad... You're gonna be in trouble. Your Majesty?
Quickly, summon the knights. We have an intruder in the palace.
He gestures at Varg, who looks unperturbed. An intruder, you say? Sir Mithras turns to Varg. At first his expression is impassive, but then slowly his lips begin to edge into a sly smile. You're such a ruffian, Varg. Look at all this property. Look at all of this property destruction. I can only gape at Sir Mithras in shock. If he knows Varg, then he is most certainly affiliated with the witches.
You know this man? Explain yourself, Mithras!
We are all thrown off guard by Sir Mithras' laughing. Oh no. Soon his laugh becomes a mad cackle. That's my Sir Mithras laugh. There is a strange brightness in his eyes that sends shivers down my spine. Spooky, scary skeletons. My apologies, Your Majesty. I am just amused at my servant's atrocious behavior. At ease, Varg. Sir Mithras gestures at Varg, a silent command to lower his cane. Varg obeys him before moving to a corner of the room and leaning against the wall with disinterest. Don't worry, Your Majesty. You're not the one we're after.
What?
Sir Mithras turns a sly smile on me and I instinctively take a step back. The princess is the lady we need to escort.
Escort? Princess? This girl is a princess?
That is correct. It is a shame you can't remember your own daughter, even though she stands right in front of you.
Enough with your vagueness. Explain yourself.
The king's grip on the hilt of his sword tightens. I'm not obliged to explain everything to you. Try thinking on your own for a change, Your Majesty.
Mithras!
Sir Mithras ignores the king's outburst and turns his attention to Waltz. He visibly stiffens and his sly smile contorts into a grimace. And look who we have here. I see that the traitor has returned to the palace. Waltz stares at him, looking puzzled. Sir Mithras tilts his head to the side and offers Waltz a lopsided smile. You still look the same as you did back then. I did not think it was possible for you to grow any weaker, Waltz Cresswell. Mithras, I see. Waltz suddenly looks melancholy as he stares at Sir Mithras. Waltz, what is going on? This man's real name is Myth, and he is a witch, same as me. It appears that he has been using a powerful glamour to conceal his real identity. If I hadn't been cursed, I would have been able to tell right away. I would not give yourself so much credit, Cresswell. Waltz narrows his eyes but says nothing, and glances between the two of them, confused. But how do you know him? He secretly worked for your mother, practically worshipped her. I was the only other person who knew of his existence as a witch outside of the Tenenbaum bearer.
A witch? I trusted you, Mithras.
The king says the words through gritted teeth, his face contorted in anger. Sir Mithras flicks her wrist. It is a dismissive gesture as he still looks amused. What a hypocrite you are, Your Majesty. He eyes Waltz. You're willing to play nice with some witches, but not others. This bias is what drove us witches into madness in the first place. I don't know what accent I'm going for anymore. Sir Mithras faces the king with a grin. You human hypocrites are so easy to manipulate. It is pathetic.
Mithras!
The king charges toward Sir Mithras with his sword held high. Oh no, you're gonna die. Your Majesty, don't! The king's sword never touches Sir Mithras. Sir Mithras only has to hold out his hand, and suddenly an invisible force pushes the king back. He crashes into one of my shelves, knocking down my dolls. Your Majesty! I quickly run to his side to help him up. Thankfully, he does not seem to have any major wounds. To think there was a witch working the palace the whole time. And not the good kind of witch either.
I was too careless!
Rejoice, Your Majesty! I still have more surprises for you.
I will never forgive this betrayal, Mithras.
Betrayal? I'm afraid you have been played for a fool this entire time, Your Majesty. My loyalty has always been reserved for Lady Hilda and no one else. Myth, I can't imagine what you would hope to gain from all this. Hilda is long gone. Sir Mithras' eyes flashed when he turns a severe glare on Waltz. His voice is seething with venom when he speaks. And had it not been for you, traitor, she would still be here. The king mentioned Waltz's betrayal. Sir Mithras called him a traitor. What exactly did Waltz do? Sir Mithras beckons me forward with a gesture of his hand. Now if you please, princess, come with us if you don't want them to get hurt. Waltz immediately stands in front of me. I won't let you take her. In your current form, you don't stand a chance. I will make certain that you never break your curse, Waltz. This whole thing was a setup, a trap. I'm sorry, Waltz, this is my fault. No, it was mine. The reason we came was to break my curse. My eyes once again flit to the box on the floor. Neverland is just a few steps away from me. Neverland! Waltz's eyes follow mine to the box. He leans back and whispers to me, "You have to get the box and break my curse." I feel for the key inside my pocket. Waltz's true magic is indeed sealed in that box, and releasing it might give us a chance at victory. And Mithras and Varg do not seem to have caught on to the fact that the object that will break Waltz's curse is right at their feet. Okay. The king moves to stand beside Waltz and draws the sword again. His body is shielded. Your Majesty!
I will not let you take the scroll. You will have to go through me first.
You can't do this!
Jaybird, I've always loved that name.
Okay! Don't hit on me, okay?
I thought if I ever had a daughter, I would give her that name. Magic makes even the impossible possible. You must truly be my daughter, yes?
Tears start to blur my vision. Don't make me cry! Oh, how disgustingly touching. It seems as if I will just have to deal with you first. No! I rush toward the box at the same moment Mithras casts his spell. Varg lunges toward me, his hands reaching for me. But he is too late. By the time he grabs me, I've already inserted the key into Neverland. I give it one definite twist and hear the click of the box as it pops open. Light flashes through the room, blinding me. Suddenly I feel a strong arm around me, holding me tightly, protectively. Oh my god, is it adult Waltz? When I open my eyes, it is Waltz I see. Even several years older, I still recognize him. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! This music though. What? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I don't know. Am I kidding? Is this a joke? My life is a joke. No. He's hot though, I'm not gonna lie. I like me some animes. Anime boys. And Waltz. He is a specimen ball. Specimen ball boy. I like my men like my meatballs. Spicy. Spicy meatball. I'm just kidding. What? Hey there. Just casually. Hey there, little star. Seems like the tide has turned, Myth. Seems like the table has turned. Do I have to give him a deeper voice now? Shit, probably. Fuck, okay. Fine, I will give him the deepest voice I can muster.
Hello, little lady. Hello, little star.
No, that'd be creepy. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean that. Wait. Back. Okay. Waltz grins and I see a confidence in his expression that I have never seen before. Sir Mithras' frown has only become more severe. Fool! I will show you that I was the favorite apprentice.
Be careful not to hurt the princess, Mithras.
Varg's voice is almost teasing, but Sir Mithras does not seem to care. I didn't plan on it. Sir Mithras gestures his hand in a sweeping gesture. In a sweeping gesture! Oh wow! I didn't know he gestured his hand in a sweeping gesture. Wow. The beginnings of a spell gather at his fingertips. Waltz looks at me and smiles reassuringly. Now when I say that I can protect you, Jaybird, I definitely can. Oh. Waltz holds out his hand just before Sir Mithras Okay, I will read that later in a second. Look at that! Look at that magic, dude! Should I make this a thumbnail? That's a nice thumbnail. I like. Oh shit! I didn't mean to fucking hell. This music is so weird. It's like it feels so anticlimactic music. Like it's so chill and relaxed. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna kill somebody. You know, this is my jam. Waltz holds out his hand just before Sir Mithras' magic reaches us. An invisible barrier suddenly appears in front of us, thwarting Sir Mithras' magic. Seems like I'm not as rusty as I thought I would be. Waltz snaps his fingers and effortlessly creates a dark wave that pushes both Sir Mithras and Varg to the wall. Ugh! Oh my god, he's so hot! Oh my god, my panties are dropping right now. Holy fuck. Ugh, my body wasn't ready, but Waltz.
Let's go.
What do we do now?
The Order of Caldera. They are sworn to an oath of protection. We can rely on them.
Waltz glances down the hallway, his mouth drawn in a tight line. I see clear suspicion in his eyes. I look back at the king. The knights should have been here by now. Surely such a commotion should have brought them running. Now I know why Waltz is staring down the hallway. He is searching for the knights that are meant to pass through here. There's no possible way that they did not hear the skirmish in my bedroom. The three of us push onward. I stand between the king and Waltz, waiting. I'm not entirely sure what I am waiting for, but I can feel the tension in the air. We only stop moving when a voice cuts through the silence. Your Majesty!
Your Majesty!
That's the voice I'm giving him. Sir Alcester steps forward with a group of knights. His face is impassive at best. Waltz takes a step back as Sir Alcester looks to the king. The king is quiet for a few moments, his eyebrows drawn together in a terse expression. He finally speaks.
I'm about to declare a state of emergency. Where have you been?
Seize them.
Oh my god. My eyes are still on the knights in front of us when I hear footsteps from behind us. I am nonplussed. What? Nonplussed? When a dozen knights appear from the shadows and surround us. I look for Fritz in the cluster of knights, but he is not here. He is Varg, yes. The king stares around him, baffled.
What is the meaning of this?
Could this be the reason why? What is happening? That voice. We all turn to watch the dining room doors open. Ophelia enters with a melon and rod. Several knights trail behind and flank them on either side, giving them no room for escape. Rod notices me and stares in shock but says nothing. Gennaro! The minute she sees the king, she calls his name and attempts to run toward him. The knights only need to raise their swords and block her path to stop her.
I think that takes care of all the intruders. Though I am not happy that two managed to escape.
Two? Jern and Garland? If they manage to escape, they might be able to get reinforcements.
The king will be judged and convicted. His crown will be given to one more worthy.
I see. It was you who sent that letter, Alcester.
That is correct. Now, if you want to protect your family, you will hand over your crown.
The king shakes with rage.
Was this yours and Mithras' plan all along, to take down this kingdom at its heart?
Sir Alcester snorts and crosses his arms.
Do not clump me together with that snake. Both of us have different goals. It just so happens that we both needed to be rid of you.
What?
You are awake, King Gennaro. The kingdom of Andale needs someone who will rule with an iron fist.
My throat is starting from that.
You are too soft, like a penis, and
Sorry, I had to throw something in there.
You were too soft, and your subjects, and so your subjects have become too dependent on their kingdom and the kingdom.
Do you suppose I run my kingdom?
By instilling fear.
There's no place for fear in this kingdom. It is a ruler's obligation to assuage the fears of his people.
I cannot believe that you would do this, Sir Alcaster. Alcaster looks at me with disinterest.
Jaybird, correct. I have no business with you, but I suppose Mithras does.
We have been backed into a corner. What do we do? I feel for my pocket, but my hand touching the smooth surface of a vial. I can still remember the potion that Parfait gave me before we left. I had forgotten I had this with me. Parfait told me to use the potion if we found ourselves in a difficult situation. She said it would give us time to escape. She did not even tell me what it does. I glanced at Waltz, who is eyeing the knights quietly. But it is also possible that Waltz would be able to do something about this situation with his magic. We're gonna use Parfait's potion. I reach into my pocket and slip the vial out. I open my fingers just long enough for Waltz to see it. He gives me a subtle nod before turning his attention to Sir Alcaster, who is still speaking with the king. I will make you regret your actions, Sir Alcaster. I throw the vial to the floor. The moment it shatters, a blinding light envelops the room, forcing my eyes to close. Waltz grabs my hand and pulls me away.
Don't let them escape.
I hear a few grunts from the knights as Waltz begins to barrel his way through them. Waltz leads me into the throne room. We have all somehow made it out. Rod stands in between Ophelia and Emmeline. Rod must have pretty good eyes to be able to lead them both out of there in all that chaos.
Good job back there, Jaybird. I never realized you had a potion.
Parfait gave it to me before she left on her urgent meeting.
It's a good thing, then. You saved me by using it, you know. Using a more complicated spell would have drained my energy.
Why is this happening?
She says that she's crying. Oh, Emmeline, I missed you. I love you. Emmeline's eyes are filled with tears. Ophelia takes her into her arms and rubs her back in an effort to calm her.
This is my fault. How could I not have foreseen this? Jurin was right about him. I should have listened to her.
This is not your fault, Your Majesty. We don't have much time. We need to escape and tell Lady Parfait about this. It sounds like Jurin and Garland were able to escape. It is possible they will soon bring reinforcements. Rod, you know these people? Rod is silent for a few moments before nodding at her.
Yes, they're my friends.
Friends? Rod just shrugs at me. More than likely, he just wants us to play along. Waltz paces the room, his arms crossed as he tries to think of something. Waltz?
I haven't done this in a long time, but I can try to open a portal that leads back to the Marchen.
Witches can do that?
Only the most practiced witches. It only works if they have a clear image of where they want to go.
So you can do it?
I can. I was taught by your mother, after all.
Oh, that took a while. I'm like, oh, what is he going to do? Waltz starts waving his hand in front of him as he conjures a spell to open the portal. But the portal disappears as soon as it appears and fades again.
Damn it.
They're coming, Waltz!
I'm doing my best, princess.
Yeah! Come on, make a portal. Waltz tries to cast a spell again. This time the opening appears and stays.
I did it!
But this won't be open for long.
Your Majesty, you must go first. No, let Ophelia and the children go first.
Waltz nods as he ushers Ophelia and Emmeline into the portal. Though Rod is reluctant to step inside, I force him into the portal before me.
I can't keep the portal open much longer, Jaybird. I can manage one more person before I need to recast it.
Your Majesty, you must go.
No.
What?
I do not have any intention of leaving. To leave this place is to abandon my kingdom. I will not flee like a coward. I will protect my throne until my last breath.
But that would be suicide!
He will not kill me. He may have managed to sway the order, but I have the people on my side. Killing me will cause an uprising, and that is the last thing he will want.
But if the king escaped, he would be able to fight from the outside. The castle and his crown are symbols, but he is in danger if he stays here alone. I glance at Waltz and notice him paling. I can tell that the magic is sapping his strength, making him weaker. I ball my hands into fists. I cannot leave the king here by himself. He is king and I am the crown princess. Waltz, you will come back for me, right?
What are you?
Before he can react, I put my hands on his back and push it with all the strength I can muster. Waltz stares at me in horror as he falls into the portal. I'm sorry. Waltz disappears and the portal collapses in on itself, leaving me with the king. Both my mind and heart are numb as the knights approach, ready to surround us. That smile, though. Oh shit. I need to reload my guide. It's like, oh snap, it crashed! Like, the website crashed. Okay. The king and I sit on the floor with our hands tied behind our backs. There are 2 knights standing by the door to watch over us. I look at the king, who remains as quiet and solemn as before. He has been so calm. Does he have a plan?
Why is it that you chose to stay with me?
I am surprised when he finally breaks the silence. Because there are questions I need answers to. Besides, I cannot just leave you here. I have many things I need to ask you. King Gennaro falls silent as he stares at me. The gold of his eyes clearly reflects my own. I have never realized how similar our eyes were. Really? It took you that long to notice that?
Is it true? Are you really my daughter?
Yes, I was given the fairy tale curse and turned into a peasant. My title was stolen from me and from the minds of the people. No one remembers who I am anymore.
Cinderella?
How did you know?
And was the glass slipper on your necklace? I noticed the glass slipper necklace on your neck, but the other slipper seems to be missing a piece.
A piece? I look down and stare at the second slipper. My eyes widen when I notice that the piece is bigger. What? When did I get a good deed? But when did this happen? I know, I just asked that. I consider and recall the moment I broke Waltz's curse. Was it when I broke Waltz's curse? This means I only have one more deed left to complete, but my birthday is tomorrow.
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm just worried.
You have been through much today. Try to get some rest. You must reserve your energy.
I am unsure what he means, but either way, there is no way I could possibly sleep now. At least this is what I tell myself, but as minutes pass, I feel my eyes getting heavier. Eventually, I drift into a dreamless sleep.
Jaybird, you must wake up.
I blink a few times, and when I come to, I find that I am leaning on the king's shoulder. Aw, cute. I fell asleep. The king glances back to the door, his eyes narrowed slightly as he takes a deep breath.
It is time to go.
What? I turn toward the front doors and realize that the knights guarding the room are missing.
They will be back soon. We must hurry.
I am surprised when the king pulls out of the ropes that were binding him. He holds a small knife in his hands. Ooh! Crafty! How long has he been out of his bindings? When did you free yourself?
I think I have been sorely underestimated. I have been trained just as well as the knights. It goes without saying that I could get myself out of bindings. I'm not so weak that I need to depend on others to protect me.
It sounds like something I would say. But where did you get the knife? They made sure to take everything we had that could have been a weapon.
Would it suffice it to say that I pulled it from a hidden spot? Not many people think to look in a person's boots.
Ooh. The king leans down to cut my bindings, then lowers himself to the ground. His fingers brush the floor. What are you doing?
Finding the keyhole. Ah, here we are.
He pulls a small key from his pocket and fits it into a crevice in the floor. The floor gives a gentle, audible rumble. The king pulls a tile from the floor, revealing a hidden staircase. There is a hidden staircase here in the floor?
An escape route if one were ever needed. Only I know of its existence. Now, we must go before they return.
I nod and follow after him. The king sits with panel in place as we descend down into darkness. The floor rumbles once more as the hidden pathway closes behind us. Both of us walk in silence for some time. The only sound we hear are the echoes of our footsteps. I am behind the king, staring back at his back. He seems to have already recovered from his earlier injury. Or he could just be pretending that he is alright. How is your back?
It doesn't hurt as much now. Thank you for asking.
Silence ensues once again. This is getting awkward. Maybe I should say something. We're gonna say something. I cannot stand the silence any longer and speak up before I lose my nerve. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I've done nothing but cause you trouble. Rod told me once that when I disappeared, the king was the happiest he'd ever been. Because I was not there. I'm sure if you had been given the chance to forget me or not, you would have chosen to forget me.
No. It feels like I have been the cause of your pain, not the other way around.
Oh.
I feel as if I should be the one apologizing. I would have been wondering for a while. I have been wondering for a while. If you are indeed my daughter, why do you address me by title? Do you not call me by father? Do you not call me father?
I stop in my tracks and turn away. It has been years since I called you that. You were never there for me, so I stopped considering you my father. A deafening silence falls upon us.
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me why you distance yourself from me? The king looks at me silently, with something like regret in his eyes. I want to slap myself a bit for my foolish question. Here, I'll slap myself right now. Woo! That hurt! My apologies. I forgot that you do not remember me. You know, I've learned many things since I have been cursed, but the things I've learned do not answer my questions. I had thought that by staying here I would finally chance upon some answers, some truth. I always thought that only mother loved me because you were never there for me.
I'm sorry I cannot give you the answers you seek.
Well, I can understand why you would hate me. I am a witch's daughter after all.
Hildur. Do you know what transpired in the past?
You mean with mother?
Hildur threatened to kill the person I loved if I did not marry her. She threatened to kill Ophelia.
The king looks down, his face contorted with anger. Her said that mother already broke their rules long before she took over the kingdom. Her hands were already stained with blood.
I won't let any more of my loved ones die in her hands. I had no choice back then. I married her because I refused to let her hurt Ophelia. I hated that woman for ruining my life and my kingdom.
I know. I recall when he thanked Waltz for saving the kingdom. Can you tell me who Waltz is?
Waltz, he was Hildur's apprentice. He was powerful, considered the second strongest among the witches.
Really?
He was a child prodigy. That is why Hildur ordered his family killed when they refused to give him to her. Waltz didn't find out about that until much later.
Mother killed Waltz's family? I cannot believe this. Just how many lives did she take?
When he did find out, he betrayed Hildur. He divulged her plans to the fairies and then helped them defeat her. They gave him a copy of the key to the secret tunnel so that he could deliver it to Lucas Fair.
So that is how Parfait got the copy of the key.
Then Hildur cursed him for betraying her. I do not know how much you two know each other, but it is fairly obvious to me that he is loyal to you and cares about you. He was the type of person that expressed that loyalty plainly, so I can tell.
I do not know why the king decided to comment on such a thing, but my cheeks are suddenly warm.
You care for him.
Do I?
Yeah. He is a good man.
How did we even get to this conversation? The two of us are still walking when the king suddenly stops and I nearly bump into him.
Ah, here we are. This should bring us into a passage that leads to the gardens.
I follow his gaze to a rusty door. He slowly approaches the door.
Stay close to me.
I nod at him. He turns the knob and pulls open the door. That's... The king and I can only gape at the sight in front of us. It is the last thing we expect to see behind the door. Is that the tin bearer? Mother? Oh my god. Chapter 7, The Witch and the Crystal. Oh my god. I feel that I cannot kiss my ass. Oh my god. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. So, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely.
Bye-bye!